Hey there friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Brutus Monroe video. Today we're going to be focusing on the die of the month for December 2020, and this is the gorgeous die of the month called Flakes. It is so intricate and absolutely beautiful and covers the whole front of an A2 size card. And then we're also going to be using this stamp set called Snow Scenes. This one comes from the inspiration box, which I'll have linked down below. I'm also going to be using a few other elements from the inspiration box, but it has matching dies and we're going to be using those as well. I went ahead and cut out of some teal Glitterstock the die of the month, and look at how absolutely gorgeous that is. I didn't use a shim with mine. Mine I used through the Gemini die cutting machine, so check your die cutting machine, kind of try it out. You may need a shim because it is quite intricate, but I had absolutely no problem cutting through that Glitterstock with my die. All right, I'm going to pull out the snowflake that I want from the Snow Scene stamp set, put that into my Mini Misty. I'm going to ink that up with some Raven Detail ink because I want to do some Copic coloring, and then I'll stamp that down. I'm actually going to stamp it more than once. The other one I only need just the circle from, so I'm going to push my Alcohol Perfect cardstock. This is the Perfect Blend cardstock that Brutus Monroe carries, and I'm just going to ink up just the circle mostly. I did want to show you that Max was a little bit interested. He had to come see what I was doing and even wanted to touch it. All right, there's your cuteness for the day. All right, now I'm going to do the coloring. This is very simple Copic coloring. I don't do any blending, and as you notice, I'm even going right over the top of those snowflakes. I'm going to fix that later with a white gel pen, but for now, instead of trying to go around all of the snowflakes, because this is a tiny little scene, I decided to just come in with my colors and go right over the top of those. I'll put most of the colors up on the screen that I used if I have a cap that says the number on there, and if I can remember it, I'll tell you. The moon was colored with Y00, and I'm using just a regular Copic here, the G29 for all of my trees. And like I said, these are very intricate. I like how there's some snow on there. You can just see this little scene, and as you color it, you see it really come to life. And all the scenes in this Snow Scenes stamp set are the same. They're just absolutely beautiful and so fun to color up very quickly, because you'll see that this ends up taking me no time at all. I suppose you could come in and do a little bit of, shading and shadowing where you wanted it, but I just decided that it wasn't really necessary for me to do that, so I'm not going to do it here. There are some mountains in the background, so I'm going to bring in a purple Copic. This one is V09. At first, when I started coloring, I thought, boy, did I make a big mistake here with that dark purple, but I'm very adamant about when I get started with something, I'm going to finish it and see it through, because in the end, you may really, really like it. So I will just continue to work with this just to see how it's going to turn out. And then I have a lighter purple, which is a BV, of course I don't remember, and I didn't put it up on the screen. It's a BV34, I think. And then I'll come in with a B95 for my river. And actually, I really like that. I end up really, really liking that. Now with this one, you'll notice I'm only going around the perimeter. It's not necessary to color the whole thing because most of that's going to get covered. My plan with this was, if you notice, the die set has a circle die, and it also has each of the big snowflake dies. So I'm going to cut out this one as my big snowflake, and then I'll cut out the circle of the other one, the full scene that I colored, and then I'll layer those on top of each other. Here's where I'm bringing in a Jelly Roll white gel pen to fill in those snowflakes. You could also instead maybe just splatter some white paint over the top of it if it's something that you're like, meh, let's just do that. I thought that this worked out just fine. The snowflakes were plenty big, and even if you end up putting snowflakes where there weren't any before, it's not like anybody's really going to be able to tell. So I really like how that turned out. Here's where I'll grab the circle die from the die that matches, and I'll run that through my die cutting machine. And I do it with my snowflake as well. I should have taped that down. It wasn't completely perfect, but that was my own bad. And I will apologize, I had my camera zoomed in. I was chatting with my sister, so you don't see everything that I'm doing here for a little while. But all I did was attach down my the die cut that I cut out onto some white cardstock, and then I took some of the ribbon from the inspiration box and tied that around the top. I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of the snowflake, and then I will attach that down to the center, and then I'll also put some foam tape on the back of the circle piece that I cut out so that we have lots of dimension going on. and I'll attach that down to the front of my card base here in a second after I do my sentiment. So the sentiment comes from that snow scene stamp set as well, Season's Greetings. I need more Christmas cards. I was silly and sold a bunch of the ones I already had. So I need to get making a bunch more. So I'm going to go ahead and put a flag banner on each end of my Season's Greetings. So I'll trim that down just using some scissors. And then I'm going to use some foam tape on both ends because I need the center to be left alone. So I'm going to put foam tape on both ends, leave the center open so that I can slip that over the bottom of that snowflake. Peel off the release paper on my Brutus Monroe foam tape and then stick down my sentiment. And then I'll just use some liquid glue to adhere down my panel to my card base. I didn't do anything on the inside of this card, but you could very easily stamp one of the snow scenes in there if you wanted. But once that is attached, that's actually going to finish off our card for today. So I hope you like what I did with that die. I love that Glitterstock, love the new stamp set in the inspiration box, and I'll have all that linked down below. If you liked this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye everybody.